Hello everybody, it is Nicole from eKiwi, and today I have another review video for you guys. Today I will be reviewing the Artline Drawing System pens, and as a disclaimer, I was sent these products for free in exchange for my honest review, so let's go ahead and get started. So the packs I received were 3 different packs along with one individual pen, and the individual pen was a .05 because it does not come in the packs, and the other packs, one of them was a 1 through 5 and an 8 size pen. One of them were odds, so 1, 3, 5, 7, and one of them was evens, 2, 4, 6, and 8. As you can see, I am swatching the sizes so you guys can see the thickness. I personally use the .05, the 1, and the 2 the most, sometimes 3, but if I really want a thick line, then I'll go to 5 or even 8. Afterwards, I did a smear test, and this test I drew the line and then immediately smeared it. And so I did it in the same order that I swatched it, and I noticed that the ones that smeared the most were the thicker pens. Of course, all of them smeared, but that's probably because I wiped them right after I drew it down, so they were still wet. I am using smooth Bristol board paper, so that's also something to keep in mind because of the texture of the paper. Since this paper has no tooth to it, it's probably harder for the pen to grasp onto the paper and dry quicker. The next test I did right next to it is another smear test, but it was after it dried, so I waited about a minute or less because if I waited longer then I probably would have been better, but I didn't wait that long. I did wait a little bit, but I smeared it afterwards and the same results were that the thicker pens did take longer to dry, so they smeared the most. The .05 one did not smear at all, but the rest of them had a little bit of smearing, but not that much. The last test that I did was a medium test. So mostly I would use these with markers or watercolor. That's pretty much it that I would think of a wet medium. Other things like color pencil and stuff, you don't really have to test with this just because they wouldn't affect the pencil. So what I did was I drew a line down and I made sure they were completely dry before using the medium, because most likely you would wait until the pen is dry until you start adding color. Unless you do the opposite, like sometimes I just add color first and then I draw over it. But for this test, I just did the other way around. So what I used were Copic markers, Crayola markers, highlighter, touch marker, Prismacolor marker, Art and Fly marker, and then a watercolor, which was the Arteza water brush pen, and then I just wiped it with water. When doing this test, I found that the only one that smeared was the highlighter, and most likely you're not going to be coloring with a highlighter for bigger pieces, so I don't think that'll be an issue. But if you did want to use this pen for, say, bullet journaling or just taking notes and using a highlighter over, I would wait longer. I did wait about 3 to 5 minutes for these to dry, but the rest of them came out crisp and clear, so there's no smearing whatsoever when placed a marker over it, or watercolor. These pens are available online at blick.com. I'll make sure to leave a link down below so you guys can check it out if you guys are curious or interested in purchasing them. The individual pens retail for $1.89 US dollars, and for the full pack, the one that comes with 6, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8, retails for $12.25, and then the 4 packs, the evens or the odds, retail for $8.75. So overall, I think that's a really good price for it. I find that they're pretty affordable and they perform very well. I really like that they have all the sizes between. Now onto the drawing. I decided to keep it mainly pen based because the focus is mainly on the pens, and I actually used Bristol board instead of watercolor paper or mixed media paper to give it a smooth texture. I am interested in making this into a print in the future, so if you guys are interested, let me know. Then I will see if I can print it out. For the subject of this drawing, I've actually been really into doing people with animals because it seems like it helps me get my creativity flowing, and it's easier for me to come up with a pose when there's two things or something's interacting or it tells a story or something like that instead of just a pretty girl or something sitting there, which is what I've been doing before, but I think I want to move towards animals and people because I really love animals. If you guys have any suggestions for future animals you'd like me to draw, then go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I'm very interested to see what you guys suggest because I've been trying to find animals that maybe are not as well known or maybe endangered, something like that that I wanted to focus on. And it would also help me with my animal drawing skills. Surprisingly, it is actually very fun for me to study the animal and try to replicate it or draw it in a way that's like stylized, but also kind of realistic. The snake in this drawing is an African rock python, and I was just looking through some snakes and I had to make sure it was a long snake because if it was not a long snake, it probably wouldn't make sense as to why it's so long, unless she's very tiny, but it's a long snake. For this image, I definitely took more time on inking because usually I tend to rush it, and I don't know why I do that, but I rush a lot, and I think it's better if I take time and actually practice my lines and make sure I'm doing them carefully instead of recklessly making them fly everywhere. So I'm pretty happy with how it came out. The only problem I had is sometimes I would miss, and sometimes you'll see me kind of doing a hovering line, and it's just to get my hand in the motion to make sure that it fits the right area. Overall, I really enjoyed how this one turned out. I spent quite a bit of time doing the prep work. I will be posting a behind the scenes video for you guys if you're interested in seeing like the process that I take. It's not very long, but I think it's a series that I want to do because I don't sketch the idea inside the video anymore because my camera can't take it. But I thought this like small series of behind the scenes, if I put it up maybe the day after I post the actual video, it'll be interesting for you guys to see. If you guys are interested in that, let me know again in the comments. And animal suggestions as well. So overall, I really like these pens. If you guys are interested, links are down in the description. As always, materials, everything's listed down there, so make sure to check that out before asking in the comments. If you guys want to see this print available for purchase, let me know as well, and I'll see what I can do. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you, Artline, for sending me the pens. Keep drawing, keep painting, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!